Folakemi Akombi.
We're bringing you Newscope, our daily news program of in-depth reports, interviews, and commentaries. First, the highlights. 12 sentenced to death over terrorism.
Oyo teachers suspend strike as effort intensify to rescue Oluyole school hostages.
Governor Makinde implements minor cabinet reshuffle.
Many killed in Belgium apartments block fire.
Now the news in full. 12 people have been sentenced to death by hanging after being convicted in terrorism, kidnapping, and other security-related cases prosecuted by the Department of State Security, DSS. According to court documents reviewed, the convictions were handed down by federal and state high courts across Nigeria between May and June 2026. All the defendants received prison sentences ranging from 2 years to life imprisonment. The DSS said the cases involved offences including terrorism, membership of Boko Haram, the Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP, and the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, as well as supporting terrorist organizations, gun running, concealing information, and terrorism financing. Several other defendants were convicted of belonging to Boko Haram or ISWAP, while others were found guilty of providing material support to terrorist groups, participating in terrorist activities, gun running, or concealing information.
Meanwhile, Governor Seyi Makinde has forwarded the name of The Nigerian Union of Teachers (NUT) has suspended its strike across public schools in Oyo State. It has directed teachers to resume work on Thursday following renewed engagements with the state government and assurances of enhanced security measures after the adoption of teachers and pupils in Oluyole local government area. This was contained in a statement jointly signed today by the union's Oyo State Chairman Azan Fatai and Secretary Olukayode Salami. The union announced that the suspension followed a directive from its national leadership issued after reviewing the prevailing security situation and considering appeals from the state government and other key stakeholders. It added that the decision was taken in collective interest of teachers, learners, and the general public after the government assured the union that sustained efforts were underway to secure the safe release of the adopted victims and strengthen security around schools and surrounding communities.
Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has approved a minor cabinet reshuffle which saw the deployment of Alhaja Falsat Sani to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Inclusion. Alhaja Sani takes over from Honorable Mrs. Toyin Balogun, who has been relieved of her appointment. The governor, while acknowledging Mrs. Balogun for her contributions to the development of the state, wished her success in her future endeavor. Mrs. Sani, who earlier served as the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Inclusion from 2019 to 2023, was moved to the Ministry of Special Duties in 2023 before being recently redeployed to the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Investment and Cooperatives.
Meanwhile, Governor Seyi Makinde has forwarded the name of permanent Secretary, General Administration, Dr. Olabode Ladipo, to the State House of Assembly as a commissioner nominee. The governor also appointed architect Ifeoluwa Akonde as a chairman, Samuel Ladoke Akitola Airport Upgrade Committee, Honorable Ishola Adekunle as Executive Advisor, Intra-Party Affairs, and Honorable Oladejo Oladokun as part-time member, Local Government Service Commission. This was disclosed in a statement signed by Special Advisor Media to Governor Makinde, Dr. Sulaiman Olarinwaju. According to a letter signed by Chief of Staff to the Governor, Otumba Segun Ogunwuyi, the appointment take effect from today, 1st July 2026. Governor Makinde, while congratulating the newly appointed individuals, urged them to discharge their duties with dedication, loyalty, and commitment.
Similarly, Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has reappointed chairman and members of the Adeshin Ogundoyin Polytechnic Irua, Professor Kazeem Adebi, who was appointed on the 24th of March 2025 to serve out the term of the former chairman. Professor Abiodun Ojo, who died last year, has been reappointed as chairman. This was disclosed in a statement signed by Special Advisor Media to Governor Makinde, Dr. Sulaiman Olarinwaju, noting that the governor has also reappointed Honorable Johnson Oladile, Alhaji Hazim Badmus, Engineer Oyetayo Ige, Mrs. Alice Adedoko, and Mr. Waziri Adekunle as members. The reappointment was contained in a letter signed by Chief of Staff to the Governor, Otumba Segun Oguyi. The Governor, while congratulating the chairman and members on their reappointment, charged them to work diligently for the upliftment of the institution. The new appointment takes effect from today, the 1st of July 2026.
The governorship candidate of the Allied People's Movement APM in the state, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, has begun a familiarization tour of party members across the state with a visit to the Ibarapa zone. The visit, which gathered stakeholders from Ibarapa North, Ibarapa Central, and Ibarapa East local government areas, was aimed at appreciating party faithful for their support and strengthening the party's grassroots structure ahead of the 2027 general elections. Adebayo Abdurofi was at the Igbora Town Hall, venue of the visit. His report.
It was a warm reception for the Allied People's Movement governorship candidate in Oyo State, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, as party leaders and supporters gathered in Ibarapa to welcome him on what he described as a homecoming. Addressing party faithful, Honorable Adekombi appreciated the warm reception and commended the administration of Governor Seyi Makinde for creating a secure environment and embarking on infrastructural projects across the state, particularly within the Ibarapa axis. He explained that the visit was organized on behalf of all candidates selected during the party's primaries to personally appreciate party members at the grassroots for their commitment and sacrifices. According to him, the party's candidates emerged through a consensus process, making it necessary to visit members in their respective communities and reaffirm their commitments to inclusive leadership.
On behalf of all the candidates, we came to see the real engine room of our party. We have the members, the leaders, the people who do the grunt work for the party. Because as you remember, during the primaries, not everybody will be able to come to Ibadan or be able to meet the candidates in person. So it's imperative that we come here to show them that we acknowledge all the efforts they took. We are grateful for all their work. We pledge that by the time we win the next government 3.0 2027 is going to be an inclusive government.
In their separate remarks, the chairman of the APM in Oyo State, Otumba Adegboro Fagbemi, and the chairman of the APM PDP Alliance, Honorable Dayo Ogungbero, described the alliance as a formidable political platform and urged members to remain united and avoid actions capable of creating division within the party. Party stakeholders, including the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Matters, Honorable Ademola Ojo, and the member representing Ibarapa Central, Ibarapa North Federal Constituency, Dr. Anthony Adepoju, also reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening party unity ahead of the next general elections. They expressed confidence in the leadership qualities and public service experience of Honorable Adekombi, describing him as a candidate with the vision and capacity to move Oyo State forward.
When you have someone that has a plan as to how to move the state forward, that's the one I think we should support. If you look at Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, which by the grace of God I know will be the next governor of Oyo State, he's ready. On day one, I'm sure this is not someone that will have to start tutoring as to what to do. He knows what to do.
This is an
The familiarization tour forms part of the APM's ongoing consultations and mobilization efforts across Oyo State as the party intensifies preparations for the 2027 general elections. Adebayo Abdurrafi, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. President Bola Tinubu today declared that Nigeria would intensify collaboration with other African countries to expand intra-African trade, boost value addition across the continent, and position Africa to compete more confidently in the global economy through digital commerce. The president said his administration would sustain reforms aimed at dismantling barriers to trade, modernizing border processes, and connecting African markets through technology, insisting that the future of commerce on the continent lies in digital integration. He made the declaration while welcoming African policymakers, innovators, investors, entrepreneurs, and private sector leaders to Lagos for the 2026 African Continental Free Trade Area AFCFTA Digital Trade Forum. The president noted that Nigeria was proud to serve as one of Africa's AFCFTA digital trade champions, stressing that the country was matching that responsibility with concrete policy actions designed to accelerate trade and economic integration.
The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has reiterated the federal government's commitment to fostering strategic partnerships with faith-based organizations to advance national security, peaceful coexistence, and sustainable development. The minister disclosed this while receiving a delegation from the Catholic Secretariat of Nigeria, led by Most Reverend Dr. Matthew Azan Kuka, during a court visit to his office in Abuja. Dr. Tunji-Ojo said Nigeria has made tremendous progress over the years, stressing that it had become imperative for citizens to appreciate the country's advancement from where it was 4 decades ago. The minister further emphasized that collaboration with religious institutions is essential to promoting peace, national unity, and social cohesion. He added that the government cannot achieve sustainable national development without the active support of critical stakeholders.
People interpret public statements differently depending on their perspectives and experiences. This was the view of the chairman of the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ) Oyo State Council, Comrade Yinka Adeniro, and public affairs analyst Bright Richard while discussing the topic, Mrs. Tinubu's grants, small-scale ventures, and the youths on the BCOS Current Affairs Breakfast Program AM 120. Our reporter Fedora Folagboye monitored the program and now brings the details.
The grant initiative of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluyole Tinubu, aimed at supporting small-scale enterprises, has continued to generate mixed reactions among Nigerians. While supporters described the intervention as a boost to youth entrepreneurship and economic empowerment, critics question its sustainability and its capacity to address the country's wider unemployment challenges. Speaking on BCOSM 120, Chairman of the Correspondence Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ) Oyo State Council, Comrade Yinka Adeniro, said Mrs. Tinubu's remarks reflected the realities of many small-scale businesses, noting that some entrepreneurs start with as little as 15 to 20,000 naira, while the value of goods displayed by some traders is even lower. He maintained that the statement was directed at small-scale entrepreneurs, not social media users or the youth generally, adding that genuine beneficiaries would appreciate the support.
Our survivor as youth, you look at 50,000 and you say, for crying out loud, what do I want to do with it? What I'm saying is this. Maybe what we need to hear more, what we need to search more is what is available for us as youth. What is this government offering us in terms of grants, in terms of loan? How are we assessing it? How visible, how feasible, how sustainable are those things meant for us? Let's talk from now till thy kingdom come. Let's tear the policies apart. Some people are waiting earnestly. They are eager to collect the money. And to a large extent, the truth is this: no matter the amount of 50,000 what you get, it cannot take them away from poverty level. But it may either ease the burden of their business, their sustainability in their line of business.
Also speaking, public affairs analyst Bright Richard said Mrs. Tinubu's remark could be viewed from both political and economic perspectives. Politically, he argued that the distribution of vehicles to politicians' spouses alongside 50,000 naira grants to market women had attracted criticism from some Nigerians. He added that the renewed branding of the empowerment program had also led some people to perceive it as having political undertones.
He started by giving brand new vehicles to APC women leaders in the state. All this money, grant, whatever is to women. The politicians got vehicles. The masses got 50,000. That is one of the foundation where Nigerians got angry. If you feel this class of people can actually get this, and this other class can actually get this, it's wrong. Still under politics, it is termed Renewed Hope Initiative. That is the campaign slogan of Mr. President. So is she not campaigning for him? What are the criteria to get those grants? Will you not become an APC member? Will your PVC not be included?
The two guests encouraged young people to think beyond conventional opportunities, embrace creativity, and explore innovative business ventures as a means of achieving economic empowerment and self-reliance. Fidora Afolagwe, BCOS News.
Flooding is no longer just a natural disaster. It is increasingly driven by blocked drains, indiscriminate waste disposal, and poor urban planning. Every year, lives are lost, homes destroyed, and livelihoods disrupted because basic preventive measures are neglected. Across Nigeria, communities are repeatedly confronted with waterlogged streets, submerged homes, and damaged infrastructure, not simply because it rains, but because our drainage systems and urban development have failed to keep pace with growing populations. Our reporter Temitope Ogunleye examines the causes of flooding and the measures needed to reduce its devastating impact.
Flooding remains one of the most destructive natural disasters affecting communities worldwide. It occurs when heavy rainfall, overflowing rivers, inadequate drainage systems, or rising water levels cause water to inundate areas that are normally dry. Experts say that while some floods result from natural causes, human activities such as indiscriminate waste disposal, deforestation, and poor urban planning have significantly increased both the frequency and severity of flooding. Speaking with BCOS News, a professor of civil engineering at the University of Ibadan, Professor Wasiu Ajagbe, explained that flooding occurs when rainfall exceeds the capacity of natural or man-made drainage systems. He noted that rapid urbanization has reduced the land's ability to absorb rainwater, while poorly maintained and blocked drainage channels have further worsened the situation.
Flooding by now is not something that is strange to anybody. I mean, if it has, we have not experienced it personally, you must have had it over the news that there was flooding, so lives were lost and all that. Even at times it happened to someone that is close to you. Now, but what they fail to realize is that what is their whole contribution in making this flooding happen? They don't know that. They need to know, because we are saying that most times it is the effect of human beings that makes this happen, because naturally so many places have been existing before we get there to inhabit it, and then nature has a way of controlling itself. Waterfalls, it goes and finds its way to the receiving water body. But any attempt for human to obstruct the natural flow pattern will have the consequences.
He identified indiscriminate refuse dumping, construction of natural waterways, and deforestation as major human factors responsible for flooding. According to him, these activities obstruct the free flow of water, increase surface runoff, and intensify the impacts of heavy rainfall.
You know some places that now you have seen one building, the water keep claiming building every year. If I remove one part of this building, the owner tries to patch it, he comes again, removes it, and grab it, because ordinarily they were not supposed to build there. So this is also man-made effort. Then also all these our efforts in the forest, cutting trees arbitrarily without minding what happens, because all those are natural barriers. Trees are meant to hold, soil together in a way that will not allow easily water to wash them off. So because when water is flowing ordinarily without having all other erodables around it, the strength of pushing at times may not be very damaging as such. But when it makes water erode soil easily, makes it muddy, unclear, and erode all other things along its path, and makes it more dangerous as it goes along the path to erode and have this forceful power of demolition and destroying things.
Professor Ajagbe urged residents to dispose of waste responsibly, keep drainage channels free of obstruction, and avoid building on flood-prone areas and natural waterways. He also called on government at all levels to enforce environmental regulations, improve drainage infrastructure, and intensify public enlightenment campaigns on flood prevention. Temitope Ogunleye, BCOS News.
On the foreign scene, several people have been killed and others wounded in a fire that has erupted in an apartment block in the Belgian city of Antwerp, according to authorities. Foreign Desk Editor Folashade Akintola compiled the story, and others now presented by Khadija Lawal.
Police said the local fire department received a call at 9:53 a.m. on Wednesday regarding a raging fire on the 8th floor on the 10-story apartment block in the Linkerhoeve area of eastern Antwerp. Several fire brigades as well as ambulances and emergency teams rushed to the building, which houses more than 200 people. Firefighters were battling the blaze in different conditions due to its size and intensity, police said. Footage from the scene showed one man on an upper floor enveloped in smoke and hanging over a balcony in an effort to get fresh air before making his way to a nearby window. Belgian Prime Minister Bart de Wever, a former mayor of Antwerp, said in a social media post his thoughts are with the victims and the evacuated residents of the terrible fire on Linkerhoeve. Linkerhoeve is a large residential area dotted with high-rise apartment buildings and bordering a major park where outdoor summer concerts are held. Meanwhile, 2 United Kingdom police officers who handcuffed a stabbed victim as he lay dying are being investigated for potential gross misconduct. The Independent Office for Police Conduct (IOPC) says Henry Nowak, 18, was fatally stabbed in Southampton, England, in December by Vikram Digwa, a British Sikh, who then lied to police at the scene, falsely claiming he had been victim of a racist attack. Officers attempted Digwa's account and treated Nowak as a suspect rather than a victim. Police body camera footage showed Nowak's pleas of being unable to breathe going unanswered. The footage of the incident prompted protests, political debates, and questions about how police treat different ethnic groups, and Digwa was sentenced last month to life in prison with a minimum term of 21 years. The IOPC said in a statement on Wednesday that the 2 officers were informed of the ongoing investigation, adding that the evidence indicates that both officers may have potentially breached the professional behavior standards of duties and responsibilities, use of force, and discreditable conduct. It also said it investigated whether race or religion impacted any of the officers' actions. And lastly, overnight Russian attacks have killed at least 3 people and injured more than a dozen in southeastern Ukraine as Kyiv has struck a Russian oil refinery more than 1,300 kilometers from the front line. Russia attacked the Dnipropetrovsk region with drones early on Wednesday, damaging 5 petrol stations and killing a woman, Governor Alexander Amza said. A separate attack late on Tuesday in Zaporizhia, the capital of the neighboring Zaporizhia region, killed 2 people, Ukrainian media reported. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in a statement that Ukraine targeted an oil refinery in Ufa in southern Russia and what it described as a strategic facility of Russia's military-industrial complex in the Penza region. A day earlier, Russia said it shot down 419 Ukrainian drones over the country, including the Moscow region, where authorities said a 6-month-old was killed. Kyiv had stepped up its long-range drone strikes against Russia in recent months as Moscow's full-scale war against Ukraine has dragged on for almost 4.5 years. Khadija Lawal, BCS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. 12 people have been sentenced to death by hanging after being convicted in terrorism, kidnapping and other security-related cases prosecuted by the Department of State Security, DSS.
The Nigerian Union of Teachers, NUT, has suspended its strike across public schools in Oyo State, directing teachers to resume work on Thursday following renewed engagements with the state government and assurances of enhanced security measures after the abduction of teachers and pupils in Oriri local government area.
Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has approved a minor cabinet reshuffle which saw the redeployment of Alhaja Fausat Sani to the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Inclusion.
On the foreign scene, several people have been killed and others wounded in a fire that has erupted in an apartment block in the Belgian city of Antwerp, according to authorities.
If you see something suspicious, alert the authorities immediately for timely response. Be vigilant. And that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Mary Adidapo and delivered by
Idowu Shekoni
Afolakemi Akombi. Thank you very much for listening, and don't forget to tune in for the Yoruba edition at 8 o'clock tonight.